Hello, my name is Matthew Stewart. I'll be teaching how to identify functions to 8th graders, 13 to 14 years old. Today the objective is to be able to identify functions through observations of tables and graphs. This is according to the 8th grade Math Common Core Content Standard, 8F1, which is understand that a function is a rule that assigns to each input exactly one output. This will also have a technology component. With the ISTE standards 5B and 6A, students use technology tools to process data and report results, and 6A, students use technology resources for solving problems and making informed decisions. The technology I will use today is an online assessment tool called IXL.com. All the students will have a login and password. Before teaching this lesson, students must have knowledge of sorting, organizing, and graphing, identifying and graphing coordinate pairs, utilizing coordinate graphs, states and capitals, and working with and definition of mathematical relations. Enjoy. Alright guys, today we're going to learn to identify what a function is. I'm sure you've heard of it before in math, and we're actually going to investigate what it is. Okay? Example is right here and right here in two different ways. There's a bunch of ways that functions can display to us, okay? So, I want you to go with your partner, okay? And I want you to look at this, examples and non-examples of a function, okay? I'm not going to give you the definition. I'm going to give you hints. I'm going to give you clues, okay? I'm going to tell you what an example of a function looks like and what a non-example looks like. And then determine your own definition of what a function to you is, okay? And then I'll give you the formal definition. So again, it's going to be Matthew has a birthday in October. This is a function, okay? Then we have a non-example, what a function isn't, okay? Matthew has birthdays in October and February. Very weird statement, right? So now we have coordinate pairs, which you learned before. We have 3, 9, 4, 6, 5, 8. That's a function. We have a non-function, or a relation that is not a function, 3, 6, 3, 10, 5, 8. Now compare. What's going on here? Now we have states to capitals. That's a relation, states to capitals. Of course it's a relation, because every capital, or every state has one capital. I'll give you a hint for that one too. Now, states to cities, that is not a function. Think about that real quick. Think about that, okay? How about families to last names also? Do families have more than one last name or usually one last name? Same thing. Non-example, families to pets. Can we have more than one pet? I don't know. I want you guys to go in your groups for 2 minutes and make your own definition of what a function, write it down, and we'll present it in class. Okay. So, you guys did that whole group work, so we're going to actually give you I'm going to give you the formal definition, okay? What is a function? Function is a clearly defined rule that converts an input into at most one output. Very important concept, at most one output, okay? So, Matthew has a birthday in October is a function since Matthew is paired with at most 1 month or output October, okay? The relation Matthew has a birthday in October and November is not a function since Matthew cannot be born in more than 1 month. That is essentially defining what a function is. You cannot match with more than 1 month because you cannot be born in more than 1 month, okay? It's not just about people and birthdays. You can compare anything and you can tell whether there's a function or not, okay? Of course, we're going to focus more on numbers though. Again, you cannot have more than one birth month, okay? Just remember that. If you forget the actual definition, remember that, okay? So, let's do some examples, okay? We have students, inputs, and the outputs are birth months. Again, we're going to determine if it's a birth month if it's a function or not, okay? So, let me just note, Ben and Ben are the same person, okay? Look at that, let me know if it's a function or not. It is not a function, okay? Automatically, there's something wrong going on here. The same Ben can't be born in October and July. It just won't happen. It's it cannot happen, okay? Automatically violated the function rule, okay? So, why? Well, let's draw a little graph, okay? And then line them up, okay? If Ben draws a line to more than one output, then it's not a function, okay? Ben? Okay. That's okay so far. Ben matched to October. But then we got Ben to July. Not good. Not good. That's why it's red. Ben cannot be born October and July, which is very evident. We cannot not say that. Okay? And then we got Joey to September. When one input violates a function rule, the whole thing is not a function. You cannot, it just won't work. Okay? So, again, formally, the input Ben matches the more than one output, October and July. Therefore, this relation cannot be a function. Now, let's go to numbers. Do the math part of this, okay? Now we have coordinate pairs right here. We have inputs and we have outputs, guys, right? Okay. Inputs are 3, 6, 4, 2. Outputs are 5, 7, 1, 8. Okay? So, function or not? Take a minute, discuss it. Alright, if you really looked at it, none of the inputs violated the function rule. 3 match to 5, 6 match to 7, 4 match to 1, 2 match to 8, right? There is no line coming from an input twice or more, okay? Only one line is coming from each of the inputs. Automatically, one input matched to one output, and that's great. It's a function. Every input matches to one output, okay? Function or not. Now this is a word problem you're going to get, okay? I'm going to read this problem. I'll read it to you guys, okay? And determine these questions, these 3 questions. What was the rule? Function or not, and who violated the function rule? So, reminder, formal definition, a function is a relation in which an input pairs with at most, one output. Mr. Stewart has taken this class on a field trip. I tell my class that each student is allowed to grab one lunch bag, okay? The students go online to grab their lunch bags before getting on the bus, okay? So Susie grabs hers, Michael grabs his. Riley's pretty hungry, so she grabs 2, okay? They leave for the field trip. Now, I just want to ask you what the rule was. Well, the rule was each student can only have one lunch bag, okay? So, is this an example of a function or not? And you'd be right if you said no. It is not a function because someone violated the function rule. Try to figure out who violated the function rule. Was it me? Was it Susie? Was it Michael? Okay? Was it Riley? Okay? The input Riley violated the function rule because she grabbed 2 lunch bags instead of 1. You need 1 or less. You cannot have more than 1, okay? Alright, now let's look at some graphs, okay? Let's look at it graphically. We've plotted points. We know what these points are, okay? I want you guys to figure out the coordinate pairs from each colored point, okay? So obviously we have 1, 1. We have 2, 7 for purple. Red is 4, 2. And green is 5, 4, okay? Now, obviously the question is it a function or not, okay? Now, ask yourselves, does each input, okay, match to one output? At most one output. And you'd be right if you said yes, okay? Another way of saying, of doing this problem is, do the x's repeat? If they don't repeat, it's a function. If they do repeat, it is not a function. The x's do not repeat. Therefore, not one of them matches to more than one output, which is great. Alright, so function or not function because each x-coordinate, each input has its own y-coordinate, its own individual output, okay? Okay, so function or not. Alright, same thing I want you guys to do, okay? You're going to figure out the coordinate pairs, okay? And then tell me why, whether it's a function or not and why, please. So, yellow's 1, 6. Purple's 5, 2, red is 10, negative 1, and then we have 10, 4. Something's going on here. Now I want someone to think about this, okay? Think about this, all right? Look at the x's. Does any of them repeat? Function or not? Why? Not a function. 10 repeated. Not good, okay? In other words, 10 matched to -1 and 10 also matched to 4. Definition of a function. An input cannot match to more than one output. It matches to more than one output. Can't do that. Also, graphically, if you see 2 points on top of each other on the same vertical axis, okay, in the same vertical line, not a function automatically, okay? So, I want you to do me a favor. You got a piece of paper on you. I want you to tell me what a function is in your own words, okay? And then I want you to hand it to me and I'll check it, okay? You have 2 minutes. Exit ticket. I need to know if you learned anything today. So, what you're going to do, I'm going to see if you can identify what a function looks like and what it is, okay? So, you're going to log onto your school laptop, okay? And then you're going to follow these steps, okay? You're going to open the browsers up, Google Chrome or Firefox or Internet Explorer, and you go to iexcel.com, which we've been on before. Each of you guys has a username and password. So, if you've never been here before, I'll show you how to do this. So, you're going to enter your username and password on the top right, okay? And then press enter. Alright. And then you're going to click math on the top left, okay? It's right here. Obviously, we're doing math. Here we're doing, it's 8th grade, so we're going to do 8th grade. Also, we're going to work on functions and identify what functions are. You're going to click X1, identify functions, okay? Alright, and then, this is an example where you're going to do. This is your SMART score, you've got to get to 100, okay? And this is the amount of problems you're going to do, and don't worry about the time. The time counts up, doesn't count down, so you have all the time, okay? Alright, so, look at this graph, it says, and you got to determine if it's a function or not, okay? Obviously, it's not a function because we see 2 points on the same vertical line, okay? Not a function. An input matches to more than one output, so you press no, okay? And then submit. Good luck, guys. Get a SMART score of 100. You can do it outside of class and earn your way out of the classroom. Good luck. If you have any questions or concerns, go ahead and ask Mr. Me for assistance, please. Thank you.